Good morning. March the 31st, 2017. This is CISG113, Section 1, Information Security and Privacy. This is week number 10 and day number 20 into the semester. Well, actually, that is the end of the core topics for this particular course, so we need to do some review and make sure students understand how to work out their score for the semester. Okay, so let's get started. Well, first of all, welcome back, as I have answered some questions after the class on Tuesday. And I would like to ensure that each one of you who attend this class are conscious of how you can work out your score. Okay, so you have to understand and follow me by walking through the assessment scheme again, which is on day number 1. So let me walk you through the assessment scheme. So if you go to day number 1 in the Moodle environment, you will see that we have assessment here. So under this assessment scheme, you can see that we have 3 learning contracts. Okay, so each of the 3 learning contracts is going to earn you 10 semester points. Okay, and we are going to have a learning portfolio which is supposed to be constructed by the remaining 4 weeks of the semester. In other words, starting next week. Okay, for the whole month of April. Originally speaking, according to the syllabus, if you finish doing the portfolio, you will earn 20%. Okay, and then we do have an item which is called Learn to Learn Activity, which will earn you 15%, that means 15 semester points. And we have the in-class participations, which will earn you 20 semester points. And in the particular syllabus, we do have the installment of a midterm exam, which will earn you 15%. But by the way, we designed it towards the middle of the second learning contract. Well, this midterm exam will not be necessary. Okay, so we'll offer a semester score which is, instead of 100, it's 85% if we take away the 15%. Okay, and after that, we are adjusting your workload throughout the whole semester. We say that if you feel too much for you to complete before the end of the semester, we can opt out the 20% as compulsory, but keep that as the bonus score. Okay, so at this point, you should be aware that in order to calculate your semester score, we just count in the following item. You need to pay attention. The 3 learning contracts, okay? The first 2 learning contracts you have already submitted and your scores are already out. And you are going to submit the artifacts for the 3rd learning contract by the end of next week, okay? And that will also earn 10%. So 30% here, and then you need to grab this 20% in-class participations. As long as you have 5 times in-class participations, you will have that 20%. And after that, you need this 15% too. This 15% is based on 5 journals you complete throughout the semester and 5 blocks. Okay? So each journal you will get 1 point, but each block based on the journal completed, you will get 2 points. So the journals and the block together will add you 15 points. And where are you going to submit this? Okay? This is a very good question asked by many students after last class. So today, because it's the end of the 10th week, I hope you will pay attention to that, because that is how you're going to work out your score. And then you need to make a decision whether or not you need to complete this portfolio part, because it will give you, at this point, 20 bonus points to make up for your lost points. Okay? So, originally speaking, is 100-point scheme to map to your final score and final grade. And then we opt out the midterm exam to give you more time into your inquiry-based learning and self-regulated learning, so you need not have midterm exam. You remember that? And so instead of 100 points to work out your final score, we have 85 points. But after that, I suggest that if you do not mind just to focus on your work in the learning contract number 3, you don't even need to compulsory complete the portfolio. as long as you're satisfied with your grade, which is made up of the free learning contract, the in-class participations, and the learn-to-learn activity. In other words, that is 30% here, and then 35% here, and 65%, or 65 semester points. Okay? So, after you know how many points you obtain out of 65 semester points, you will be able to work out what letter grade you should receive in the semester. Now, if you are not satisfied with that letter grade, or in case you actually could not pass with that particular score, it is highly recommended you complete the portfolio part, which could earn you 20 more bonus points. Now, if we calculate your final score with 65 points, and in case it's not a good score, you can select to complete the portfolio with 20 points input into the 65 points. Suppose out of 65 points, you just have 45 points, all right? That is not good. So you decided to do your portfolio, which you might earn, say, 10 to 15 points out of the 20 points there. That will be a big boost. But you have to be aware that you have to complete all of these before the end of April, before the end of the semester, which is April the 31st. Because beyond that day, we do not have any final exam. Okay? We do not need you to do anything else. Okay? So, do you get me? Do you understand? Okay? Do you understand? Because you need to know how to calculate your final grade. You need to tell. Okay? Now, and then, very good question that comes up from last class. The student asked, how can we understand we got 20 points from this in-class participations? How do we know? The answer is very simple. You should keep a good count of the number of times you share in class with a simple table. By the end of the semester, or actually before the end of the semester, which is, I guess, by the end of next week, which is latest, you should create a table which should contain 5 entries representing the 5 times you did in-class sharing. With the day of the class, for example, the day of the class today is day number 20. And the day of the year is March the 31st, 2017. Okay? If you did your in-class sharing on today, in the specific table which should contain 5 entries, you should enter day number 20, March the 31st, 2017. And then you kept the YouTube name, because every class we have a YouTube name. And then you trace the YouTube and designate from which minute to which minute you appear as your in-class sharing. Okay? With that record, you got 4 points. With 5 such records, you got 20 points. No question asked, I'll give you. Okay? But you must keep track of those 5 times of in-class sharing. And in case you do not have enough such sharing, before today, as I said at the beginning of the class, you will see that in the topic online discussion forum of this week, there is a call for in-class participations again. You just need to sign up for next week's opportunity. We still have 4 more weeks. Okay? So each one of you should have no reasons not to complete the 5 in-class participations. When you sign up, I will give you that 5 minutes in class. When you did it, you can put in that record. 4 points straight. And 5 such record, 20 points straight. You got it. Okay? The next question asks, where should we put this record? Okay? It's very simple. Starting next week, this is the last week, okay? Starting the 11th week, each one of you will receive one particular link called portfolio link in the Moodle environment. You just need to go into the portfolio link and put in your records there. It's very simple, all right? It's very simple. So what you need to do is to make sure you do not lose this 20%. And then another important item here, the 15%, you should not lose too. Because according to the syllabus, throughout the semester of 14 weeks, as long as you could produce 5 journals with the OIA, okay, by selecting one topic from each week. You have the first 10 weeks, okay? You select one topic from any 5 of the first 10 weeks, but you cannot select 2 topics from the same week, okay? Select one topic from a particular week and do it 5 times, okay? You have 10 weeks to select 5, okay? And you produce a journal. For each journal you produce, you have 1 point. That means you've got 5 points already out of this 15, okay? And how do you get the remaining 10? For each journal you produce, you use it as the raw material to write your blog. When you finish your blog, for each blog you finish, you got 2 points, okay? So for the 5 journals, you produce 5 blogs. You will got 5 plus 10 points, and then you got that 15 points. Again, where do you put that 5 journals and 5 blogs? In the same portfolio link that you're going to receive starting next week, week number 11. Okay? You must put the full contents there. Okay? You must put the full contents there. You can produce it first in the form of Microsoft Word document, but eventually when you go to the portfolio page, you must copy and paste the full content in the portfolio page. Okay? So there is no reason, remember, you lose this 35 points. No reasons. This is, as you do it, you got it. Okay? Make sure you do not lose them. And then, you know the score of the first 2 learning contract, and you're going to submit the artifact for the 3rd learning contract by the end of next week, which is 1 report, the team report. Everybody in the team submit the same report. And then 1 PowerPoint, the team PowerPoint based on the report. Everybody in the team submit the same PowerPoint. Okay? The PowerPoint contains not more than 15 slides, and the report contains 1 team personalized question, 3 sub-questions. For each sub-questions, the OIA set, and then the summary of learning for the whole group based on the 3 sub-questions. Okay? So it's not going to be too difficult. You have to experience in the individual journal, you have to experience in the blog, and then the report is just a combination of the 2. Okay? The OIA set and the summary of learning. So in each team, you should have 4 students. Okay? So you just need to divide the word, come up with a topic, come up with 3 sub-questions, come up with the OIA set 9 in the journal, and come up with a summary of learning. Okay? So that is what you are supposed to submit by the end of next week. You should be able to read the submission links in the Moodle's environment by this Saturday. Okay? By tomorrow. Now, remember, after next week, you should be able to read the score you obtained in the last learning contract, and then you know that you should not lose any score here by working out the specifics. So you know that how many points you obtained out of the 65 points already. The 30 here and the 35 here. Alright? So in case you use the 65 points to calculate your final 100%, and you know what grade you're going to obtain. Okay? So 65 points converted to 100%, you know how many points you obtain. So suppose you receive 45 points out of 65 points. How do you map it back to how many points you obtain in 100? That is very simple. 45 divided by 65 times 100. Okay? And once you got that semester score, you will know the letter grade. Okay? And then you have to make a decision whether or not you need to proceed to do the portfolio part to earn the bonus 20 points. Okay? When you have 21 points, it's definitely a pass for your performance in the semester. It's not going to be difficult. In other words, the whole semester contains 3 submissions and 2 regular activities which will only be counted towards the end of the semester, and you just have to get prepared. This, you should be able to finish it before the end of the semester, making sure that you earn the 20%, okay? But in order to do that, you need to create a table to record. Table of 5 records, each representing the occasions when you do the in-class sharing of 5 minutes. Okay? You check the record. If you discover that you do not have enough, you better do it starting next week. Okay? We have 2 classes every week, and so you should have enough opportunity to get it done. Okay? Okay. So now, another thing that is very important, that I need to make sure that you understand the purpose of this course is to give you the opportunity to adapt to the college life, particularly academic skills. So after the first 2 learning contract, indeed, after each learning contract, I have already installed something called a questionnaire to ask for your feedback. So since we did the midterm course survey, I skipped the first learning contracts survey. So today I would like to invite you to complete the survey or student feedback questionnaire for the second learning contract. So get online to the Moodle environment, okay? Go back to the submission link of the second learning contracts item, which is at the end of week number 7. You can see that this is the submission link, okay, for the second learning contract. I want each one of you to get online and go into this student feedback questionnaire now and spend about 15 minutes completing this questionnaire, okay? This questionnaire is located under this particular submission link. I want to make sure that the questionnaire is on, okay? So give me just a minute to ensure everything is right. The time must be right. So the timing, yes. Today it's the 31st, okay? So let me set a timing to by the end of today. So then you can complete the questionnaire now. Okay, everybody please get online to the Moodle environment. I need your help to complete the questionnaire, to just give me some feedback on how do you feel of the learning acquired. So move to the submission link for the second learning contract. Right here, okay? Everybody come here first. Get online, come here, and click on this link. Click on this link now. Everybody, come back to the Moodle environment. Go back to the submission link for Learning Contract 2, and click on this student feedback questionnaire link for Learning Contract number 2, which will give a pretty good summary of what you did and asking for your feedback in this class. Okay? So if you walk into this questionnaire, you should be able to see something like this. And I'm going to give you the preview here. Okay? There are, I think, 24 questions, very simple questions. Asking you for the first question is, how much time per week in the past 3 weeks of the learning contract number 2 have you actually devoted to your work? Okay? I'll give you 4 choices here. Less than 2 hours, 2 to 4 hours, 4 to 6 hours, or more than 6 hours. You just need to pick one, okay? That means, on average, how many hours have you devoted to completing your learning contract number 2 per week? This is a per week basis, all right? So the second question is a strict question. So actually, how many hours all you have spent in completing your learning contract? And if it is a 3 weeks work, you just have to give a rough estimate or exact estimate as much as you could. Just fill in this particular box. And then the third question asks, from which reading list have you chosen your topic to write your online journal? Now this is on an individual basis. I know that in learning contract number 2, you did a pair journal, but remember that before you have a paired journal, each one of you should have chosen a topic from these 3 weeks and then combine the 2 topics to become your pair topic. So individually, you know from which reading list you have chosen your first initial topic. So question number 4 is, do you agree in learning contract number 2, we did provide you with the opportunity to do the following. That means to think critically and be able to analyze and solve some kind of problems in the context of information security and privacy. You just need to indicate whether or not you strongly disagree, you disagree, or you're neutral, you agree, or you strongly agree that you have experience during the thinking here. All right? So similar questions follow on question number 5. You see that we're asking you, as you go through the process of completing your learning contract number 2, do you have the opportunity to think critically and analyze the problem? Do you have the opportunity to find learning resources online, evaluate those learning resources, and use them in your journals? Okay? So the idea is to make sure what you did is actually an opportunity to learn rather than just a homework to complete. All right? When you identify with the opportunity to learn, do you feel that in this particular learning contract number 2, you really have the chance to work cooperatively with your peer member, okay, in small group context? Remember, besides the first learning contract, the second learning contract is a pair work, and in the last learning contract, it's supposed to be a teamwork, okay? So if you do not feel that, it will be a little bit pity that you didn't have the help of your learning partner, at least someone who could be on your side. And do you agree that in learning contract number 2, question number 7 asks, do you have the opportunity to demonstrate your communication skills? Asking questions of your member, written down in the forums and conversationally over the phone or whatever it is. And then we say that, do you think that you will have this opportunity to use some content knowledge and intellectual skills you acquired in the previous week of the semester to complete your learning contract number 2 artifacts? So making sure that we're not wasting your time, but inviting you to try something out, which is very important for the subsequent years of your study. So these are the intensive questions, all right? So, and then question number 9 asks, oh, you need to write a journal. Do you agree that when you write a journal, you need to put together the following 3 important skills? Think critically, analyze some issues, find resources, evaluate the resources, use the resources, and put together in the context of content knowledge, and exercise your learning ability. So these are very important feedback. As a teacher, I would like to make sure I got some feedback from you. Normally, each course has some course context in order to equip the students to acquire some skills. So you know that beside the journal, we also asked you, do you agree that when you conduct the activity of online discussions with your peer partner, you feel that you have the opportunity to think critically, you feel that you have the opportunity to express yourself, you feel that you have the opportunity to use content knowledge. You just need to express yourself in the context of choosing one particular options. And so far, I think you know the questions here. Okay, I just give you time to complete it. Just 24 such questions, you just have to express yourself. By that, I understand where you are and what can I do, all right? So I thank you very much for your time and patience to complete this online student feedback questionnaire today, because it's very appropriate time. It's the 10th week and also the last class in the 10th week, and you also complete learning contract number 2, and it's very important. By the time that we're going to complete the semester in about 1 month, I will send out another questionnaire asking your feedback about what do you think about the course material and what do you think about the instructor. For example, do I appear helpful to help you? This is very important for me. Okay? So may I just give you some time to complete this questionnaire, 24 questions. Mostly, you just need to select one single response. Okay? And towards the end, I also asked you to rate the quality of this course in the context of the resources provided to you, in the context of the class hours, in the context of the participations that you exercise. Okay. So I give you some time to complete. The only qualitative question you receive is the last question, which asks you to give me some comments from your direct interactions of this important course. All right? So you will have about 10 minutes time to do it after this simple walkthrough. I'm not going to disturb you. I'll be back in about 1 minute. Welcome back. We're getting done the student feedback questionnaire for the first two learning contract. So would you please come to the Moodle environment using your mobile device, and then go to the submission link for the second learning contract. Okay? Go to the submission link for the second learning contract, and there is a link called student feedback questionnaire for learning contract number 2. Get into it and complete the question. Okay? Thank you. from four students is 209 during the questionnaire. If you have not done this, would you please spend some time completing the questionnaire? Okay. You just need to go online to the Moodle environment. Go to the submission link of the second learning contract, which is after week number 7. Okay. The submission link of the second learning contract, which is after week number 7. When you see the submission links there, okay, there is a link for student feedback questionnaire for learning contract number 2. So please complete the learning contract number 2 questionnaire. So when you click into the questionnaire, it will be 124 very simple questions. And complete the questionnaire so that I will be able to share with you next week about your responses, okay? So during the time you're completing the questionnaire, I'm going to take attendance so that you just need to raise your hand when your name is called, okay? Coe, thank you. Anson, not here. Tracy is not here yet. Alfonso, thank you. Neon, not here yet. Franco, thank you. Please, thank you. Shadow, thank you. Jerry, thank you. Carol Wong, thank you. Henry is not here yet, okay. And then Marco, thank you. Maggie, you're here. Vincent, you're here. Jeff, you're here, right? Jeff, you're here, thank you. Henry New, oh, Vincent is not here yet. Oh, I'm sorry, Vincent is not here. Donian, thank you. Carry on, not here. Carol Au, not here. Okay, Nicholas, you're not here yet. Gabit, you're here. Jose, you're here. And then Tiger, you're here. Thank you. Jose, do you have difficulty coming to the questionnaire? Are you over there? Thank you. Gabit, can you make it? All right. Please make sure you finish the questionnaire first. It is located in the submission link for the second learning contract. The last item here is the questionnaire. All right. In the meantime, I'm going to send out the call for participation link again. Well, unfortunately, next Tuesday is a holiday, so you just have next Friday to do the Leon, you're back, so I checked your attendance. Okay, thank you. So for those of you who do not have 5 times in class sharing, you see that I'm posting this call for participation for next week on day number 21 and day number 22. But unfortunately, day number 21 is a holiday. So you just have day number 22 next week. Okay? So if you discover that you do not have enough in-class participations to claim your 20%, you better make it up. Alright? Starting from next week. After next week, you still have 3 more weeks to do it. So don't lose your 20%. Leon, if you're back, we would like you to get online. He knows it, right? Okay, that's good. Thank you, Marco. Thank you. You just need to complete the student feedback questionnaire, okay? We appreciate it. You're spending time to do it. Good, good. Yeah, about to get responses now. So we're still waiting for 5 more responses from the class of students, because we're about 16 students today. Thank you so much. So everybody needs to be reminded, if you do not have 5 times your share, you need to register. Make sure you don't lose the 20 points.
important opportunity to earn a score that is very important for you. Your learning experience in this course is very important. You go from an individual inquiry-based learning to a peer where you involve the two of you and your peer in self-regulated learning. And then moving to the third learning contract, you have two peers working together as a team. And so you got involved in problem-based learning and in the context of teamwork. And then you prove together everything you did in your portfolio, if you choose to. And of course, you want to have a good grade. So you need to have a good measure. What do you want to achieve? If you know that after calculating your score you've got a C, then I suggest that you do the portfolio to prove up your grade to B. If you've got a B, do the portfolio to prove up your grade to A. We've opened up many opportunities for you to do that. Okay, here. So two more students, you still need to complete the questionnaire. So we'll make up to 16 students altogether. That's very good, thank you very much. We're now at 14, okay? Your responses are very important for me as a teacher because sometimes you cannot talk all the time, but every now and then, after a specific milestone in the semester, I need to ask for your feedback so that when you give me this feedback, I understand what you're doing and how you feel about the scores. Okay? Before the end of today's class, I'm going to introduce to you the very important forum, which will help us to understand more about the cybercrime happening around the world. And after you finish the questionnaire, bring your attention to this very important topic on day number 20 for today. Okay? Welcome back, Vincent. We had you back into this class today. So your first job after you return is to complete the online questionnaire, okay? And then I'll check your attendance. Yes, thank you, Henry, for helping Vincent to go online. Thank you.
Today it's very foggy. It's very temperature. It's not so cold. It's good. I'm going to reserve the last 15 minutes to help you understand the contents of day number 20. So when it's 11 o'clock, I'm going to get back to the class in 10 minutes time to help you understand what we are up to. An important milestone for the whole semester because it's week number 10 and day number 20. Okay? We have after today, we have 4 more weeks to go, so we have 8 more classes. So after day number 10, we start day number 21, and we are going to end the whole semester. Again, it's most likely day number 28, if not day number 27 in fact, because it's one day next week, that's a holiday.
你哋有冇講出咩辦法？照出。如果佢有派個張嘢，佢就會照出。不過啲嘢會改，但係啲題唔一樣。我嗰度就都佢俾個 raise， 我嗰度個考，我頭先考咗，我嗰度個考，嗱呢個我加咁樣 A， 即係唔係 U 咯？係咪 A？ 即係用畫佢嘅咩佢係咩啊嘛？有真係先幫我補翻我上堂，唔聽到。我嘅星期3先做得晒嘅，我諗捉住佢嚟考下知識嘅。呢個攞唔到幾時？但係佢形式差唔多。冇咩法。係啊，除非你一齊考嗰啲咯。啱翻去正式喺度幾個發起今晚再快到 presentation。我翻 presentation 之後咧，就要D 晒個 D 晒個嗰度。難得我做，但係你諗住做幾多？我今晚做其實我即係我意思，我解就 D 晒先。佢出去食飯。
Okay, just a important mention. If you want to sign up for your subsequent in-class sharing, you just need to go to week number 10. Okay, in week number 10, because this is where we are this week. If you go to week number 10, you will discover that we have a public online discussion forum here. And here I've already sent out a call for students to sign up for in-class sharing for day number 21 and day number 22. But remember, next week we just day number 22. And next week I'm going to send out a similar call for students sharing in class for week number 12. Okay, until we meet the deadline of week number 14. So you should have 4 weeks, if not 8 days, at least 7 days opportunity for you to make up the in-class sharing, which will earn you 20 points. Okay, it's very important. One side already. Very good. Another side is very simple. You just need to press the reply button and say, I want to sign up on a particular day. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to use the remaining 10 minutes now to help you understand a little bit further on cybercrime. This is a very interesting topic. Cybercrime is not just localized to one single sport in the world. Actually, it's a transnational challenge. So how do we deal with this big problem on cybercrime? And how do we police cybercrime? Now, this is a very important thing. And if you want to know something more about this, I've given you a very interesting talk here, which is presented by a very famous scholar here. But the most important thing I would like to introduce to you is the I3P organizations. Let me give you a little bit of the impact on ICT organizations.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. We're going to start. We're waiting for a few people. But
It's called the Institute for Information Infrastructure Protection.
to celebration of IMX's 10 years of making an impact in critical infrastructure protection. I am Zach Tudor's the name on the program. I've been trying to channel our co-chair and the actual sponsor of our program, Warren of Dartmouth. He was called away. He's currently the acting provost, and his duties have started to overwhelm him as opposed to lesser human beings who would have been swamped way earlier than that. But it's my job to thank you all for coming and give you a brief overview of the I3P and talk about why we're here today and the work that we've done over the past 10 years. Hopefully I'll be able to see these slides. And these are marked slides, so if the presentation is a little bit off, you can blame them. If you really like it, it's the value that I add. So the history, once again, meeting a federal need, and not just a federal need, but a need for critical infrastructure for both government and industry infrastructures. So the PCAP developed the idea that we needed more in the area of cybersecurity research in 1998. The IDA developed a study in 2000 that talked about the details of an I3P concept. White papers were developed, the typical Washington, D.C. Type of scenario, right? Let's have a great idea. We can think about it a little bit more, and hopefully no one will kill the good idea in favor of a bad idea. But then in January of 2002, the I3P was officially funded and started. So our mission statement, we try to identify critical challenges in information infrastructure protection and address those needs in multidisciplinary research and multi-institutional environment. So I'm very pleased to be here. I was telling Tony Sterling, the first speaker, that I'm not just a fan of a lot of people here in this room, but I'm a fanboy. So I have kind of grown up in the mature side of it, and from the senior leadership in cybersecurity, people and to some of the younger researchers that are making new inroads, people like Kelly King and others. Just makes it really exciting to come to meetings every time we come together quarterly or whenever we work on projects together. So it's really very awesome, and I'm just pleased to be here with them. But of course, we also wouldn't be here without our government sponsors. The Department of Homeland Security, both the Science and Technology Directorate and the National Cybersecurity Division have been stalwart opponents and sponsors for our program, as well as the National Security And I believe that some of our sponsors couldn't make it. I don't see them, there's people here. Can any of the sponsor representatives, both President and past, like the day, please stand up and let us recognize you guys and say thanks. Perry Peterson, Control Systems Program, thanks. So we are a 28-member consortium spanning the IDEF campus that chart. Hopefully everyone else here knows, but we are comprised of both national labs, nonprofit research development organizations like my own, and some of the leading academic institutions and research colleges, universities across the nation. We feel we have a unique model. As I mentioned before, we do institutional, interdisciplinary research. We try to put the best minds together to develop proposals, to address issues, and then to develop solutions. So we look at the human aspects of cybersecurity, we look at the technical aspects of cybersecurity, we look at economic models, and try to bring those together. We also like to engage industry and engage government, our stakeholders, both in developing the proposals, understanding the issues, and then developing solutions. So engage early, engage often, return, give workshops, show the industry, and public what we learn, and rinse and repeat. We feel we've had some impactful research projects over the years, and these are just a sampling of some of the projects that we've done in the last year. Safeguarding digital identity. That's all right. You guys will be going. I know that we've also worked on process control security, set of programs that I was fortunate enough to work with several universities here. We have a major impact on the oil and gas and critical infrastructure those projects as well. Some of our current projects, we're looking at information sharing, something that's very near and dear to my heart, and something that we all know really has to improve in order for us to combat the rapidly emerging threats facing us. Policies, perceptions, trade-offs, how do we determine what is the best protection to use for the limited resources that we have? Usable security, obviously people won't use the technologies that we develop, then we've just been wasting our time. And also a recent project that's just about to get started with CISG, how to understand what makes incident response teams in the cybersecurity realm more effective, how people work together, and once again, in an interdisciplinary way. Human behaviors and technologists and economists working together. And so by that, we'd like to feel we meet real world needs. We do a lot of technology transfer. We provide training for some of the tools that we develop. We provide symposium. We write papers for both academic and mainstream journals so that people can understand the research impact that we've had and how it can be applied in various domains. So we don't think that we're developing things that are specific in any one particular field or domain, but in the areas of cybersecurity, whether it's oil and gas, banking, finance, critical infrastructure, Department of Defense, federal government, we should be able to transfer a lot of what we've learned to all these areas. Like I said, we bring the stakeholders together. So our sponsors, like the government agencies that have worked with us, also the stakeholders, the asset owners, companies like Chevron and Shell and others that have worked with us over the years, vendors of critical infrastructure equipment and other information technology all come together to work with the I3P to help solve problems that are important to the organization. And also, this is my favorite slide. Like I said before, I'm really happy to be here in the middle of the long-time research leaders and the young research mavericks that are coming forward. So our fellowship program, our fellow program has been very valuable in bringing new people course, the vision, stronger cybersecurity, being able to understand these risks and trade-offs, be able to make coherent policies, make projects that make sense to stakeholders, and be able to transmit results that make sense for our critical infrastructure. We want to have high impact, we want to continue the impact that we've had in the last 10 years, and we want to be a trusted national resource. That part. I doubt there'll be any questions. Are there any questions about the IPD? Good, thanks. I might have it. So,
You see that this is a very important organization at a national level. And this example, given that it's very good resources on the national level, particularly in the United States, I believe we have something similar in China today. This was done in 2008, now is 2017, it's 9 years before. And before that 9 years, they had 10 years, and actually stopped in 1998. Owing to the observation, the trends of information security and privacy will be the #1 issues for the whole country, both governments and industry alike. And so they put together people, put together research, they put together the industry operators, the stakeholder, and they together to look at the world. Okay? So I think this is a very good, important part that you need to be aware of when you further your understanding on cyber crimes. You look at the Institute of Information Infrastructure Protection. Okay? So this is one thing I would like you to know. And of course, the many other important topics here in IT and I mentioned earlier, policing cyber crime. How do you do that? Responding to the transnational challenges of the cyber crime. And look at the cybersecurity policy. How do you keep a broad world? And another issue is overexposure in the digital world, drawing the line between our public and the private selves. So all these topics we seem to touch only on the surface, but if you have time and if you're really onto it, make sure you listen to one or two of these talks, and I'm sure you could have enough insight on that. And this is an endowment for specific technologies, and the future of the internet is also very challenging. Okay, I'm going to stop here today on day number 20, in week number 10. And I hope that when we come back next week, not Tuesday, it's a holiday, but on Friday, I'm going to hear the presentations from Tracy's group, and then you will have other in-class sharing. So that's it for today. Until next one, stay tuned.